Hello and welcome to Stage 2 of the Formula One United States Grand Prix for Real Racing 3. I'm driving my McLaren. It's got a maximized driver, a maximized principal, and I've already bought all the tuning I will need. To learn more about that, go to the beginning of the Stage 1 video. So here, we're supposed to have the tires up to 100% before we finish this lap. So I thought, yeah, why don't I just throw this thing into a skid, have some fun with it, drift it around some corners. Okay, well, it wasn't a very good drift. You're not supposed to come to a stop, so let's see if I can do this a little bit better. Ah, there we go. That's a little bit better drifting. I put my settings in the description, but in case you're wondering, I always use Tilt B controls. Sensitivity on 2 is my default setting. I'm running that with this car, and all of my assists are off. I like to have all my assists off. You can actually do drifting with steering assist on. In fact, it can sometimes help a little bit. Once in a while, I do put my steering assist on, like Indianapolis Speedway, Daytona Speedway. Boy, are they ever helpful there. Everywhere else, I find that it just messes me up. It's too restrictive. Won't let me do certain things I like to do. Especially at Circuit of the Americas, steering assist on sharp corners, steering assist can actually kick your back end out. So then you're forced to run traction control, and then you're just getting slower. Steering assist low is not that big of a deal, though. I know quite a few people who use it and are very fast drivers. So don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you can never use it, but if you ever want to take off-track cuts, it will be a major problem. It will say, no, please don't. Well, there we go. You can see that this race, I had tons of time left over because I'm already at higher tuning of 5445. I bought all the tuning I need to finish this entire event before I even did the first race. All right, so we do get some interesting events here. So this time we're starting with maximized tires, but look at this. These guys are blocking the track. So here's the thing. If you stay on track, your tires stay at 100%. So don't go off track and you're going to have no trouble with this stage. Another thing, and some people don't know this, excessive contact hurts your car, so that will lower your top speed, make your acceleration worse, brakes worse, and grip worse. So if you really hit something hard and you hear cracking sounds like breaking glass, that's a very clear indication that you just lost performance. So if you're having trouble in races sometimes, that's probably because you took damage early on and you lost some of your car's abilities. So bear that in mind. When a car has a windshield, it's incredibly easy to tell you've got that type of damage because you'll have cracks in that windshield. Unless it's a NASCAR. Those ones do not crack. I don't think they do. No, they don't. They might have in the very, very early days, 2015 season, but anyhow, you can see I was obviously off track a little bit somewhere because I'm down to 99%. So somewhere I went off track. Probably I get too aggressive with some of these corners. People who play other racing games get upset at the boundaries in Real Racing 3 sometimes because we take two tires way off track in this game. However, it's kind of funny because sometimes people complain about any time you even touch a curb and it's like, oh, come on, guys. I watch racing as well, and there's a lot of tracks where guys go way over on the curb, especially at Spa, the very last corner of Spa. There's guys that get all four tires on the outside of that last curb. So, yeah. But regardless of all that, this is Real Racing 3. And if you want to be the fastest you can be in this game, you got to learn where the actual limits are and push them, just like a real racer would do. If a real racer will not push the boundaries on a regular basis, he's going to get fired and replaced by a racer who will. Because going an extra foot on the inside or extra foot on the outside, pushing those limits, getting as close as you can, that's what's going to give you the edge. And so that's what is a requirement. Okay, let's see what happens here if I take this. Oh, I didn't like that. So I took that too aggressively. That means I would have had a DNF in a time trial in this game. So in time trials, yes, it gets super strict, as I'm sure you know. I definitely was off track there, lost another percent. But 97%, you won't notice that on the handling of a car. Nothing to worry about. Obviously nothing to worry about in this race. I mean, look at this. I'm almost a kilometer ahead of Hamilton here. So no worries at all with this much tuning, and that's what I recommend. Is you could go higher in the tuning if you want to. Like, as you can see, I'm doing no bot slowing. I don't care how big of a lead I have. These required PR events are generally very easy, although the Spanish Grand Prix took us for a bit of a loop there in some of those stages, and they ended up giving a free skip. I liked it, but I do understand of course I understand where a lot of other people are coming from. I remember what it's like to struggle in doing these events. I mean, I was once new to this game as well. Okay, watch this. I'm going to go off track. Look at the tires degrade. Look how fast they degrade. Oh, I better get back on or I'll lose my average speed and have to do the whole race over again. And I don't want to. Okay, that one is in the bank. And let's get on. Winning by at least 200 yards, did it say? Okay. I don't think that'll be much of an issue. I really don't like how stupid these bots drive. So on an outlap, before you can get control of your car, the AI, or artificial intelligence, is driving your car like it's another car on the track. So that means it's making you drive in formation. Remember me talking about that before. Outlaps like this, bots drive in formation. So one will be to the left, one will be to the right. Well, before you get control of your car, it's either one of those cars that has to be to the far left or the far right, which means if you're taking a really sharp corner like this, and you're having to stay to the far left, it's just gonna snap that rear end around. So I'm taking it pretty easy, as you can probably see. I'm not trying to have excessive contact. I don't want excessive contact, but I do want to get in the lead nice and fast, like I just did. But I don't want to get a whole bunch of contact on the way, because that's just going to slow me down in the long run. And I'm sure we're going to have some stage where you can't take on any damage. So it's good to figure out, where are the passing zones? Where can I get ahead? Where do the bots drive really badly? That's another thing. You find where your opponents are bad and you exploit it. You take advantage of it. Or to put it another way, find out where you are really good compared to your competition. So that's important. And sometimes you might lag behind someone for several corners before you overtake them, because you know, oh, there's a corner coming up where I am very good and they are bad. So there you go. That's how that would work. I love this corner when I get it right. I don't like this corner when I get it wrong. In this corner, I often over push this one, but I did not that time. Very, very good. That race is done. We're getting on to the next one. Let's see what challenge they have for us now. Okie dokie. All together now. Bring it all together now. Oh, what an interesting formation that is. Well, why don't I get a little bit of draft and thread the needle, go through the middle. I need some more draft. Come on, get some side draft from somewhere. Okay, well, I'm going to drive it deep because the AI were controlling me. And whoa-wee, 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 whoa. Well, there goes 7/10 of my 1 second of off track allowed. Okay, better be careful. Only 3/10 left, which is very little time. Then again, if you ever fought you've been on the cusp of a new group in weekly time trial, like you've been stuck in Group D for years and you're just about to get into Group C, well then 3/10 of a second is a massive amount of time. And you know that all too well, or it doesn't matter what group you're fighting to get into. It gets even more difficult, like 3/10 of a second in Group A. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of places actually. Anyway, and there we go. The race just ends when you pass the 9th car. And I love that I got full pay for the race. I got credited for a first place finish of a full 2 laps. Well, there we go, guys. That's stage 2. If you like this video, please press like, please subscribe. Thank you for joining me, and I'll keep pumping them out for you.